This segment sponsored by Paul Davis. Paul Davis is a service that provides cleanup and repair damage to institutional, residential, and commercial properties due to storm, fire, water, mold, or other disasters. And joining me today is Diane Miller, their Business Development Manager. Hi, Diane.
Hi, Jessica.
Welcome.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Yes, happy to have you.
Thanks.
And to learn about this very important business of Paul Davis, because who do we call in an emergency? It's Paul
right.
Davis.
That's right. Only Paul Davis.
Yeah, so please start off by sharing with us all about Paul Davis.
I have been at Paul Davis for about a year and a half, and I work on the business development side. So I only work with commercial businesses. And it has been the most incredible experience because I work with this team who are out in the field just changing lives in many ways.
Yes.
Because when people have a flood, a fire, storm damage, they're having their worst day. And I know, because I interact with these people every day, that it's a blessing because they come out, they are dedicated, they're hardworking, and they have great heart and great talent.
Yeah.
And I know that they're going to take this bad day and turn it around, clean it up, restore it back to its original state, and it's very exciting, and I'm very proud to work there.
Yeah, I love that. I love how you put that because they kind of come in as superheroes.
Yes, for
and
sure.
like change the whole day of the tragedy that may have happened.
Yes, absolutely, yes, for sure.
Yes. And so with you working on the commercial side, so I like this perspective because we've had Paul Davis representatives on before talking about the residential side and what we can experience if a fire or something happens at home.
Yeah.
So the commercial side is one that's interesting. So these disasters can happen to anyone, business owners alike.
For sure. And working on the commercial side, it is kind of a different animal because there aren't a lot of commercial businesses who have consistent or maybe any emergencies. And so what my focus is working with these business owners, and instead of waiting until an emergency happens and then it's like, oh my gosh, I don't know who to call, it makes all the sense in the world to talk to somebody ahead of time and have a plan in action. So whether the owner's there, it's just the employees, they know who to call, they know what to expect. And so me and my colleague, Nikki Shota, she does like the Warsaw area, Noble County. We meet with business owners and just, hey, here are our services. This is how it works. Help them put together an emergency plan. And so that's my primary focus.
Yes, that's so great. Being proactive and having that plan in place in advance is so important. And so share with me some of the services that you all offer more specifically for the commercial side. Yeah,
for sure. So I would say that the number one phone call that we get when someone has an emergency is water issues. So it could be somebody's basement flooding, but on the commercial side, it can be, sprinklers were deployed overnight and they walk in and there's water, 2 inches of water. Or it could be from storm damage or just flooding in general. So we extract the water, make sure it's dried properly, and then take the following steps to make sure that it's cleaned up, dried properly, and restore it back to its original state. If somebody has a fire, our team, they show up and they clear away the debris, they do the cleanup, take away the smell of smoke and address the soot that's everywhere.
Right.
And again, these are very talented and compassionate people, so they just do such a great job. So water, fire, mold. We have a mold specialist, Steven. He's incredible. And, people call, and sometimes it's an older facility, but it could be a new facility. Maybe they had a water issue, Jessica, but it wasn't dried properly.
Yes.
So we have this leader and his little team. They can come out, take a look at the mold, do the testing, and then lead you down the right path to get that taken care of. And we have content cleanup, and one service we offer that I don't think a lot of people are familiar with is we also do biohazard and decontamination.
Oh, wow.
So if there is a homicide or a suicide, if there is a hoarder situation. Those kinds of things, we also have a team that is qualified to come out and make sure that things are taken care of properly.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's incredible. I mean, a little bit of everything because you never know.
You never know.
What could happen. And so I love that
Yeah.
you all are a one-stop shop for restoration, which is so important. So share with me a bit more about your role as business development manager. What does that entail exactly?
Okay, so when I've been in business development in this role for a long time. And what's been super interesting with Paul Davis is you're not selling this thing that it's like, okay, this is yours, I hope you love it. You're selling this intangible. If this should happen,
Yes.
we're your people. And it has been crazy and wonderful, and thank God for the people at Paul Davis, because they have been like incredible teachers and a great backbone. Going out and just honestly, it's cold calling. It's finding a vertical like senior living or apartment complexes, and getting in touch with those decision makers. And Jessica, usually at every business there's a facility manager. They make the decisions. So it's connecting with them and, getting some space on their calendar and just asking them, tell me about your facility and have you guys had losses before, and learning as much as I can about them so I can tell them about us, and hopefully they will be like, yeah, I mean, this makes sense.
Yeah.
Plan it in advance.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. Being able to do that outreach is
Yeah.
so important. So you get to be the one to really share about the services and
Yes.
everything that Paul Davis can do for any company. I mean, any company,
Yes.
any person needs this service. So you're the person to reach out to.
I am the person. If it's in Allen County, I am the person. If
Okay,
it was
perfect.
like in Warsaw, Noble County, that would be Nikki. And probably the biggest misconception that we run across is because we're far and away one of the largest restoration companies in the area.
Yeah.
And people see our cars everywhere. Have you seen our cars?
Yes, I have.
That's right, Jessica. Anyway, their misconception is like, wow, you guys must be not affordable. You're so large, and not true.
Yeah.
That's not true. We can be very competitive on the emergency side. So I would say that is something else that I usually address with my commercial clients.
Okay, perfect. Well, thank you so much, Diane, for coming in and sharing.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Nice
Thank you.
meeting you.
You too.
And as you heard, if there is an emergency, who do you call? Paul Davis. We'll be sure to have their website listed below, and we'll be right back. This segment sponsored by Paul Davis.
Follow us on social media at Living Local 15.